So I heard you say your parents are deciding if they're going to divorce.
Yeah.
And you have two younger sisters, and you're very concerned about how a pending divorce would affect them.
Mm.
And you also said that there's a big decision that you have to make for this summer that you should make. And you want to talk more about what the decision is?
Because my mom really doesn't have like any sort of degree, she can't get a job that could be able to sustain me, my brother, or my two younger sisters. So I'm thinking, in order to help, I should drop out of school, like, and pick up a job. So I could help support support my family.
Mm-hmm. Have you talked to your parents about this?
No, because they always assume that they know better, and that whatever words I have to say really doesn't matter.
So that's why it's important for you to process it for yourself before you talk to them about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like one of your biggest concerns, Andrew, is your two little sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the biggest concern?
For my little sisters, or?
Yeah, for your little sisters.
Just to see them succeed and be happy.
Okay. And where do you come into helping them succeed and be happy?
Well, I feel like they deserve to be able to have the things that I have had, which are having parents together, and also to have that's one of the things. There's a lot of things that I want them to have, and I think that they deserve that I don't.
Such as?
I can't think of it right now.
So what do you do for your sisters? How do you contribute to their happiness?
I try to look out for them. If they ever need help, I do my best to help. For their birthdays or for their birthdays or for Christmas, I try to do something special, or I try to go above and beyond.
Because you really love your sisters, don't you? Yeah. And that love isn't going to change, no matter what happens between your parents. That love will never change. Yeah. I just want you to know that. Yeah. And so it sounds like the big issue is whether or not you continue. You mentioned this summer, though. I'm going back to this summer. What is the decision that you need to make in relation to this summer?
Whether I will pick up a job and quit school, or to continue with school.
Okay. Is there a possibility of both and instead of either or?
I'm not sure, because my sisters and my mom plan on moving back to moving back to Warren, Michigan,
Mhm.
which is kind of by Detroit.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's a safe place to be.
Mhm.
So I would rather, I would rather be there to be able to monitor their safety than to be here and constantly worried about it.
Mhm. Mhm. And where's your brother?
Um, he goes here too.
Oh, he does?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, because I believe in him, I trust that he can be able to pursue his dreams and his career first before I do.
Is he older than you?
We're twins.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Technically, he's older.
Okay, by minutes. What year are you in school?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman, okay, this is your first year. Okay, what are you majoring in?
I'm hoping to go somewhere in the medical field. I want to become an interventional radiologist.
Oh, you do? Okay, all right, excellent. I am impressed, you already know what you want to do. Tell me more about why you want to be an interventional radiologist.
It started off with me being a little kid and always being asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Mhm.
And usually every answer that I gave out, my relatives and my parents really didn't think that was a good choice.
Mhm.
And it seemed to them that the only career that I had to pursue in order to be respected was being a doctor.
Mhm.
So I've kind of molded myself into being this person who's into science and going into medicine. And I wanted to be exactly like my dad because it seemed like everyone respected him because of his career. But I wanted to, like, as the years went on, I wanted to be myself, and I didn't want to be what he was. So instead of being a doctor of internal medicine, I wanted to become, I want to become an interventional radiologist.
Very good. Is he a doctor?
He is, yeah.
He is a doctor, okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, I am really impressed that you already know as a freshman that you want to be an interventional radiologist. So I imagine it's because you know what you want to do and you can envision that, this decision is really tough. Yeah. I also, what I hear, Andrew, is that you know what you want. You know what you want, and as a freshman in college is amazing. And I also hear that what you want isn't always compatible with what your parents want for you. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah.
Or not?
Well, in some sense, yes and no. Some of the things that they want from me, I understand and I agree with, which is, growing up and being successful. I just kind of wish that they didn't have to throw me into wanting to become a doctor, but that's kind of where all my skills are at now.
Okay. So you're still searching a little bit then?
Just a bit, but for now, I'm set on the interventional radiology.
Okay. And you're open to possibilities?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what you want, but you're open to possibilities, and your family is very, very important to you. And your family structure that you know is beginning to unravel a bit. And with some big changes of a possible divorce, your mother and two sisters moving to Michigan, and where does that put you? And have you talked to, I know there's a lot of services here at Gustavus, have you talked to anybody?
No, just my brother and I tried to figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay. And so in our 15 minutes, it's not possible to to solve all problems, but I know that, um, have you considered seeking resources here at Gustavus in counseling?
No.
Do you know what's available?
I'm not sure what is available. I know academic counselors, but that's about it.
And I know that, and I imagine Jane can help you find the right, but if you and your brother could have an objective person, you know, like myself, and a counselor to talk to you about this and help you work through it, would you find that helpful?
That would be.
Because some people like to figure it out themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it just keeps going around and around and around. And if you have an objective person come in and give you other and share other possibilities with you, and because this is a huge, huge decision for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know where you would begin to look for such a source here on campus?
Probably the Wellbeing Center.
Okay, okay. Is that something that you would do alone, or you would do with your brother? What would you be comfortable with?
I would probably do it myself because my brother doesn't believe that I should be looking for outside resources for help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is, and he is welcome to that opinion. And this is a big, big, big decision on your part. And there are so many different avenues you could go down. And so what is the biggest, so if you went to the Wellbeing Center, what would be your biggest question for them?
That's a really good question. How could or I guess that something around what could I do? Or what should I do? Something around there.
Yeah. And what could you do, what should you do? Can you be a little more specific?
To what should I do to help out my family?
And, can I add an and?
Yeah, yeah.
As you help out yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. How can you help out yourself? How can you help out your family as you continue on your path and your journey in life?
That sounds
And
a lot better.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there a both and not an either or? I just wonder.
There could be.
There could be, yeah.
I don't know, but there could be.
Yeah.
I like to think optimistically.
That's good, yeah. And so I encourage you to find a resource. And as I said, Jane could probably help you if you need some help. But the Wellbeing Center is a starting place. And who knows if your brother comes along with you or not. But if I can share one thing for certain, can I share one thing that I know? Is that being human, we need help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard sometimes to figure out things on our own. And an objective person can be helpful, because this is a big decision for you. So what is your takeaway from just our talk today?
That I should probably go get, like, I tell myself a lot that I need help, but I don't go, but actually committing to go and get the help that I need.
Mm-hmm. What's stopping you? What has stopped you before?
Because usually I come up with answers myself,
Okay.
and I like being able to just answer it myself and not receive help. But when I do need help, I believe that maybe if I just keep trying, I'll come to the answer.
And do you think that will be in this case? Maybe.
I don't know, but it is something that's more than just myself. So.
Yeah. I like your maybe, because I mean, it's a decision that you need to make, and maybe it will come to you. But I think it sounds like what you hit the nail on the head there is, this is bigger than just me.
Mm-hmm.
This is bigger than just me. So maybe an outside help might be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It might not. But you don't know until you try.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. And something that I hear you say is, it probably would be helpful, rather than I want to do this. So make sure when you do go to the Wellbeing Center, if you do, it's because you want to go. Because you want to go. Yeah. And I also heard when you ask, I should or I could, what the decision I need to make for this summer, what decision I should make for this summer. And I'd like to just end with you thinking about what decision do I want to make for this summer, for the well-being of my family and the well-being of me. You know, we should on ourselves a lot. So I just want to point that out, is, to go inside, whether you do that on your own or with help of someone else, and say, what's inside of Andrew? What does Andrew want? That's for the best, the well-being of both you and your family. So any final thoughts?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, in front of everybody, can I give you a hug?
Yeah, I love
Are you
hugs.
sure? Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Megan. Make sure you can.
So when I'm really messing up your time schedule today.
Oh, I don't, we're all good.
Okay.
This is me just letting it flow.
Okay, organic.
Yeah, right.
When Andrew comes back, it would be great to ask him how, if he wants to share how that was for him. But
yeah, so I'd love to get there. Any questions for Deb about how that, like the differences between the last session and this session and her approach to that? Or observations, it's all fair game.
When he brought up something that was that big, did you know that you needed to kind of like acknowledge that maybe that was outside of something that you could handle, and that's why you took the avenue of recommending other sources?
mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that we would end that. He needed outside resources. Yeah, but I as a coach. And that's really good, because you need to work within your scope of practice. And that can be very gray sometimes. But I knew that this was just a bigger issue. But I really wanted to I could work with him on what was really the issue at hand. What was really the issue at hand. And to let him talk about it, so that if he does choose to go for outside help, he's already kind of somehow heard himself speak about it, and then continue on after that. Whether it be with his own thoughts or getting help outside.
As a coach, what is like kind of your personal tool or the way that you use your skill for kind of like keeping your head focused, especially like not getting caught up in like certain emotions and kind of staying objective about certain things that are thrown your way if you're a coach, because you never really know what to expect sometimes in your sessions. Do you have a trick or something that you use?
It's mindful presence. It really is mindful presence. It's a letting go of everything else. And and let me tell you, that took practice, because I'm a nurse. I tell people what to do, and I've told people what to do for over 30 years. And so suddenly, for me to be collaborative and not prescriptive, it's a learning curve, and I'm still learning it. But as Jane said, it really is refreshing. It really is refreshing. I don't have to have the answer for people. And, but the mindful presence, because I need to let go of all my stuff. And especially, I just went through a divorce a year ago, after being married 37 years. So did he trigger something in me? He could have. He could have. So I have to recognize, whoa, this is an issue, that's very close to my heart. I have to let that go. I have to put that on the shelf. And it didn't really trigger me, so thankfully I guess I've worked through that. But if it did trigger me, it's like, okay, I guess I haven't worked through that. I need to work through it. So really the mindful presence and letting my stuff go for the time I'm working with somebody.
And we'll talk more next week about some of those strategies, and we'll spend some time identifying what our own personal triggers might be and thinking through how we can get to where Deb may be. But yeah, Morgan?
I was just going to ask, has that ever happened to you where you've been trying to coach someone and then they bring up something that does trigger you? Like, what do you do in that situation?
As I said, I just let it go. Let it go. And notice it. Ooh, I felt that here. Ooh, that got me right here. And just know that I am here working with this client at this time. And yeah, it does happen.
How hard is it for you, having something so similar to a personal experience like that, to stick with being empathetic instead of immediately jumping to the sympathetic? Because I feel like that's a natural tendency for me, is to just jump straight into, oh, I'm so sorry for you, I've been through a similar experience,
Yes.
blah, 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 this is what I did.
Personal disclosure. That's a gray area too, because sometimes in a coaching session, it's helpful to share your experience. More times than not, it's not helpful. More times than not. They're there to talk about themselves and to figure out their issue. And they don't really care about your issue. But sometimes personal disclosure is appropriate. And I'll tell you, the thing about, and the nice thing about the University of Minnesota program is, you can do health coaching over a week. You can call yourself a health coach by going to a weekend class. But the nice thing about the 2-year program, and I'm saying this not to promote the program, but just to show how the benefit of the 2-year program. The first year of the health coach program, and even the first semester, Jane will verify, there's a lot of self-awareness. So when I started the health coach program, I thought, oh, I'm here to help people. I'm a nurse. I'm here to help people. I didn't realize when I started that program, I was going to be my first client. And let me tell you, I'm my hardest client, because I'm still working on it. And that's the thing with health coaching, is that you have to continually be doing your own work. And I know that our students all have outside coaches that go through the program so that they can work on their issues. And it's just as a health coach, you have to, you need a coach yourself, because you're just always working on those issues. And so without that self-awareness, you can get triggered. Yeah.
And back to what you said, Tom, I'm trying to remember how Brene, that short that we watched with Brene Brown, didn't she say like a situation is rarely made better with a comment, but it's made better by presence or connection, right? Right, so that for me, well, not that obviously it's not my mantra because I gotta remember what it is, But that for me is sort of a good reminder of no matter, it's not about what I say. It's not about me being like, I've been there and I got to the other side and, you know, you can do it too. But that it's about being connected with them and present with them and just, yeah, letting go of your desire to share your experiences. Andrew, are you willing to talk about how that was for you at all?
Yeah. I felt like I've gotten a lot further than I have been just by myself. It was also really nice to be able to open up because, like I mentioned, it's just something I've kept wrapped really deep down inside me and that I didn't want anyone else knowing. I don't know, just ask questions and I'll answer.
Where's your hometown?
Lakeville.
Lakeville?
Yeah. So I'm
North
I'm-
or south?
North.
Sorry, Cam. I was north until high school, so you're still south.
It used to be one.
Used to.
They always were very good in sports. I'm glad they divided.
Were there any moments when you sort of decided, oh, I'm gonna rebuild this, or I'm not going to, or was it just sort of organic? I mean, was it unconscious or conscious or?
Some of it was conscious, and some of it I just kind of let go. For me, when I tend to share things, if it's just me or if it's something that I feel is like all right with sharing, then I'll share it. But if it's something that's like someone else's secret, then I don't share it. Yeah.
Andrew, did you feel led? Did you feel that I was leading you anytime during the session?
Yeah, you helped me kind of think things through instead of like how I would do for myself is just kind of random points here and there, trying to solve different things at the same time.
As a coach, it's easy to lead, and I felt like more so with Andrew than with Luke, I felt I was leading you a little bit, and I felt it was necessary. Necessary because, and you were out of the room when, what's your name? Emily mentioned, did I realize that this issue was bigger than health coaching? And oftentimes that is the case, and I kind of felt that I needed to lead you to other resources that are right here on campus. And so it's not, you want to avoid, in coaching, you want to avoid leading, but in some cases it's necessary, and I felt this one. So that's why I asked if you felt like I was leading you.
It was helpful though. Like,
Okay.
if I didn't have, well, I originally just started really lost, so I needed some sort of direction.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times people say, what's the difference between coaching and therapy? And I'll tell you, they cross in many ways. Some people will say, well, therapy takes you from this point backwards. Why are you the way you are? Because of where you were. And coaching starts you here and moves you forward. Well, that's very concise and easy to visualize, but there really is a lot of coaching techniques are psychotherapy techniques. But when somebody talks about anxiety and depression, you know that you're out of your league as a health coach. And a health coach can work with a therapist simultaneously. Maybe the health coach will work with the client on stress management, and the coach will, and the therapist will work on the depression. You can work together. Possibly a client may need to go to a therapist and work with the depression or anxiety, and then come back to the health coach. So there's
And the coach that I saw when I was in class with Deb is both. She's a psychotherapist and my coach, and so she can sort of, handle where she could have handled kind of wherever we were other things. So that does happen too, that people have both of those trainings and practices.
anything else, Andrew?
No.
Emily, did you have something? shaking? I'm sorry. I thought you actually did have your hand raised this time.
No, I'm okay.
Okay, good.
I'm okay.
Did you notice a difference between the first session and the second session? And what was that difference?
Nick?
Like the scale of the problem, like Luke seemed to be big, and then, I mean, Andrew's was big too, but like it was more precise, like more one thing instead of a bunch of different things.
Yeah, and you know, that's really a good point, and I like what Andrew said at the end, your takeaway. This is bigger than me. You know, and this is bigger than me. And I think that's where, I feel that's where getting outside help will help in that issue, because it's just bigger than him, like you said.
I think they both sort of came in with an idea of what they wanted to do, even if they didn't know it. You especially, you have that decision to make, and you knew that. And I think, Luke, I think you knew when you came in, when you wanted to talk about that, like you've been mulling over like things that, ways that you could do it or not. I think just having someone to bounce those ideas off of was really just like what needed to be done. But you both kind of came in, not like completely like, well, I have no idea what to do, but you, like, we all have like our ideas and like of what we, a vision, and just someone to bounce it off of, to clarify it and like kind of pull it up front was helpful.
I noticed a difference in your body language a little bit, Deb. With Andrew, you would lean forward a little bit more often, and I don't know if that was conscious or unconscious, but it felt a little different in terms of how you were relating to each other in the physical space.
Yeah, I noticed myself doing that. I noticed myself leaning in with Andrew, and it just was, I think, I kind of questioned that myself in the middle. I thought, I just felt, and I questioned that too, and I think, I just was supporting you in this huge, big decision you have. And I just kind of wanted to say, I'm here.
I guess, kind of, I don't know if it's a question or a comment, but like, how do you just not jump into your like mom mode of, like, you've gone through it too, and like, you have kids, and to not just be like, no, honey, like, don't do that. Like, I know. How do you like stay away from that?
That's really a good question. Yeah, no, it really isn't that difficult, because I know I'm a health coach.
Was it hard at first?
Not really, not really. You know, as a mom, I look back and think of all the things I wish I could have done differently, and maybe I'm getting an opportunity to do that now. I wish I'd let my kids speak more. So it's funny, I never thought about that, but maybe health coaching is helping me do something I wish I'd done as a mom. Because I think when people come into our program, and Jane, you'll probably be able to say this, just by what you learned in the health coach program probably affects how your relationship with your spouse and your kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I wonder a little bit about, I mean, you said it kind of wasn't even hard, it's a little bit of a frame of mind, you know, that you, when you're practicing, and this is, you guys won't have this quite as clearly as sort of, I mean, Deb knew sitting down into this conversation that she wasn't a mom, she was expected to be a coach, as you kind of said. So there's this professional sort of identity and then this personal identity for you. And you all may find in the way that we kind of do and practice coaching here that it may be a little bit more integrated in terms of when you are and aren't using coaching and, you know, in a coaching dynamic and in a coaching sort of ish relationship. So it might not be quite as clear or as easy, you know, that you might find with friends interacting. Sometimes you're able to let your own stuff go and be present with them, and sometimes you get into the mode of like, I was there too, and you know, and it's just sort of, it's a little bit of a dance like that, I find. So it's not like I'm always in the coaching mode, but I feel like I allow space for others much better now.
Yeah, that silence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. silence. This one had silence. Remember that at the end? Whew. I bet you remember it.
Yeah. You really have to decide how comfortable you are with silence. And it really takes a practice of allowing silence. As a practitioner, oftentimes, and a lot of our students say this, they feel that the silence may infer they don't know where to go or what to ask. And so we tell our students, suggest that they let that go. That silence is very therapeutic, but everybody approaches it differently, and often people are uncomfortable in silence because it makes them feel like they need to fill the void.
What is often happening for the client in a moment of silence, have you found?
Processing, like Andrew, he was trying to come up with the answer. And you have to be careful, that's really a good point, because you don't want the silence to put the client on the spot. You want to allow them to do the processing and give them time to come up with an answer. But you also, as a coach, need to, look for the nonverbal so that if they don't have an answer, it's okay. And you can, if you don't have an answer, that's fine right now. So you still have to, you can't just check out during silence. You still have to, because you don't want your client to be uncomfortable and feel like they're being put on the spot.
I just had a quick question. Do most people you work with and coach find the answers within themselves, like Luke and Andrew did, or do more people need guidance and help?
Thank you so much for asking that question. It's a very, very good question. Because in our society, we're so used to this prescriptive model. I'm paying you, so give me an answer. And so health coaching isn't for everybody, because some people want the answer. They want the magic pill. That's what they want the magic pill, the instant answer or instant solution. And so some people are taken aback when you describe health coaching and when they don't want the answer. And so it's important with clients is to explain the process and to sometimes there needs to be a combination of prescriptive and collaborative initially. And then slowly less prescriptive and more collaborative. So when you have a client sitting down, you really need to figure out kind of where they're at. Once you explain coaching and then once you start the session, there may need to be more prescription, more education initially. And hopefully they come back for more sessions and allow themselves to sit back and find the answers. Yeah, that's a very, very good question. Because as you all know where our society is, give me the magic bullet. Give me the answer right now, yesterday.
Well, thank you so much, Deb,
You
for
bet.
being here, and thank you to Luke and Andrew for being willing
Yes.
to be in that brave and courageous space for us today. Thank you. So I've asked Deb to do something else with us that she's really good at. Is 5 minutes okay?
Yeah.
Is that too much?
Nope.
Fine,
Nope.
okay. So I don't want to. I'll just let you take it away.
Okay. So you want 5 minutes before the class is done to
Yeah.
end up? Okay.
Yeah.
So you did yoga yesterday? Okay. So have any of you heard of laughter yoga? You have? Where have you heard of laughter yoga?
My sister works for the Parks and Recs of St. Paul,
Uh-huh.
and some people used to come around to the parks and do it, and so she did it and tried to have her family do it, but it wasn't. I don't know if she did it right, but that's how I've heard of it.
Oh, well, very good. Well, you'll be my cheerleader. Well, I'm going to have you stand up because you've been sitting for 2 hours. So I'm going to have you stand up. Laughter yoga was created by a doctor in India in 1995. And laughter yoga is a combination of laughter exercises, breathing exercises, and a little bit of stretching. And so Dr. Kataria, Madan Kataria, is a Western trained family physician, and he started it in 1995. And the reason it's called laughter yoga, because, well, first of all, he was doing research for an article he was writing, Laughter is the Best Medicine. And he was astounded by the amount of research on laughter and how the many benefits. It reduces stress, it helps you sleep better, and it just improves your overall well-being. And I'll tell you, undergrads are my toughest nut to crack, because you're all very self-conscious about what others are thinking. But I think in this class you'll do fine. So you can participate as much as you want to. But it's called laughter yoga because when you think of yoga, what do you think of? The stretching, the postures, the asanas. Well, there's 8 limbs to yoga, and one of them is the asanas or the postures. Another one is pranayama or breathing. And so that's where the yoga comes in, laughter yoga. We're going to do some breathing exercises. So there's 3 guidelines to laughter yoga. First one is to have fun. There's a child in each one of us begging to come out. The second one is no new pain. So if you start seeing pink elephants because you're not used to taking deep breaths, go ahead and sit down. The third one is refrain from talking. Because when you talk, you engage the left side of your brain, and the left side of your brain is your analytical judgment side. And it's going to say, oh my gosh, I should have left early. Why did I come to class? You look silly, I look silly, this is crazy. We're going to put that left brain to rest. We are going to engage the right side of the brain, the abstract creative side. Because laughter yoga is fun, not funny, playful, not silly, and childlike, not childish. As I said, there's a child in each one of us begging to come out. So let's do some stretching. Let's stretch up. Grab a little laugh up there. And then let's just, without hurting your neighbors, do some arm stretches, or circles they're called. Put your arms behind your back. Oh, that feels so good. You're slumped over your computer or walking in the cold like this. Oh, that feels good. Then get your hips out of jail by doing some circles like hula hoop. Put your hands on your knees, wake them up. And then we're going to wake up our foot and our other foot and our hand and our other hand. Shake all over. Oh, I think we're ready. Now there's a clap, and it goes like this. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. So when you hear me do that, that's to finish up the one exercise and listen for the next one. And we don't do the Queen Elizabeth clap, because you have acupressure points in your palms. So when you clap like this, you're activating your acupressure points, which are connected to the organs in your body, and it just kind of wakes up the organs in your body. So let's go. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 And the other that brings a kindergartner in each one of us goes like this. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. So the first one is the greetings exercise. And because we're not going to talk, we're going to greet each other with laughter. And we're going to look at each other in the eye. You know how often we talk to people and we don't look them in the eye? So we're going to do the greetings laughter. Then the double handshake. So go ahead and greet each other with the greeting laughter. As a kid. Okay, get your bubbles out, and then take the lid off, dip the wand, it's kind of slimy, then blow bubbles. Dip again, and blow. And one more time, and these are laughter bubbles. When you pop them, they giggle. The next one is Dr. Kataria's favorite exercise. I used to do it and thought, oh, what's so fun about this? But it is. It's a milkshake laughter. We are the blender. So take your 2 glasses of milk and go, A, shake it up, A, and down it goes. We're going to do martini laughter. It's 5 o'clock sometime. We're going to do our martini. It produces a little giggle. E, A. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, 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 ho. Whee! All right, let's do doggy breath. It goes like this. Yip, yip, yip. Woof, woof. Show me your doggy breath. Yip, 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 yip. Woof, woof, woof. The next one, have you had your vitamin L? You know what vitamin L is?
Love.
Love, I've heard love. And laughter. Okay, these we got at Walgreens or CVS, so they're just over the counter. They just produce a little giggle. So get out your pill and take it down. Take another one. Throw this out. We need prescription strength. And take that big old horse pill and down it goes. Oh, it says take 2. We always follow that. Very good, very good. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! Oh, let's get our oxygen. Okay. Take a deep breath. Oh my gosh, it's laughing gas. Take another deep breath. Oh. Let's see, what's another one? What's another one? It's got to come to me. Oh, have you had your vowel movement today?
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of personal. Okay, what are the vowels? A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Let's laugh the vowels. A, E, and Y. Very good, very good, yay. Very good, very good, yay. Very good, very good, yay. The last one is tee-hee binoculars. So we're going to go up to people and we're going to tee-hee. Tee-hee. So go ahead and share your tee-hee binoculars. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 And the last one is mental floss. Get out your mental floss, put it in one ear and out the other. Okay, we're going to clean out any negative thoughts, any judgments, any shame or guilt of the past, any worry of the future. 85, 90% of what we worry about never happens. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Woo! Get rid of those negative thoughts. Whew. All right. What are we going to fill our head with now? What couple words? Good words.
Happy.
Happy. And what's another word? Love. Okay. Let's breathe in happy and breathe out love. Breathe in happy. Breathe out love. One more time. Breathe in happy. Breathe out love. And we're going to end with a chant. And it goes like this. I am amazing. You are amazing. We are amazing. Ha, 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 ha. Join me. I am amazing. You are amazing. We are amazing. Ha, 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 ha. One more time and sell it. I am amazing. You are amazing. We are amazing. Ha, 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 ha. Yay! And now, you will probably, in the next week or two, read an article in a magazine or newspaper about laughter yoga. It's just amazing how that works. Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Dad.
Nice.
Oh,
Can you copy that?
Okay, so thank you. We made it through another Friday. Wow, we're just cruising. So over the weekend, so some of these responses to your journal question may have come up for you in reflection and in our discussion. So what did you take away? What questions about this process or concerns about kind of what it involves remain for you? And then you're reading in the motivational interview text, which are posted on Moodle. I vow to post all PowerPoints on Moodle tonight. So I know a couple of you have asked me about that, and I've said I would do it, and life's just been a little nuts. But I will do it over the weekend. Promises, promises. So we'll see you on Monday. Colin has his hand
I just
raised.
got a little blurb. I'll remind you on Monday, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. at the courtyard, we have a little social event. We're calling it the BU Social. So you guys are obligated, not officially, but if you guys could come to that, that'd be awesome. Mandatory. Both. Mandatory. There'll be free food, free goodies.
It's not to my knowledge, I don't think that the school is closed, so I have class planned. Other institutions are closed tomorrow or on Monday, but Gustavus is not. Sorry.
Someone was talking about
There was something about having.
Yeah, there is something in the chapel, I know.
Yeah. Okay, so Monday at 10 a.m. is the MLK lecture.
Yeah.
So we have the guy coming in. I was going to talk to you about it, but like most of the classes are during the day are booted back in time.
Oh.
So we got to figure that out and see if we have to switch times.
I don't think we have to, but we can talk about options. So I'll be in touch if things change on Monday. Okay? Have a good weekend, guys. Take care of yourselves. Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry that I've been out. Like I can't even explain my life. So I failed. But you were in touch with Colin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Particularly
I am amazing. You are
So I
amazing.
looked up to
We are amazing.
Right. Yeah. Will you, instead of texting me, will you email me a reminder that we need to figure this out? And
I emailed your Gmail.
I don't have it. If I have a Gustavus email, I don't know how to get to it. So the Gmail, the one that's on the syllabus, would be the one. Yeah. And I don't think I sent.
I sent one about the Mandela project. I had a question
Oh,
about
that's right. Yeah. So will you email me there again? I wish I could have text me unread because I just lose them. And so I'm so sorry. So why don't would you email me and tell me that I promised to figure out what you need to do to kind of make stuff up. And all of it's out of your control, so it won't be something. It's just for you to get the knowledge, not about anything punitive. So will you toss me an email and then I'll think about it over the weekend?
That's what
Okay.
Thank you.
On the syllabus, there's reading for non-verbal communication too. Is it just this one then, or?
I can use it in, it's more reputable.
Oh, you're right. It is the NBC too. I just didn't copy and paste the whole thing.
Okay.
So I will send a reminder. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And is the